All right. What up, man? Fucking how the hell y'all doing tonight, man? Listen, Tom Pease is fucking beat. I'll be honest with you, man. I just put in 13 hours a day. Tom Pease is exhausted. All right. But on the same point, yo, look, the election's tomorrow. So let's have a conversation. I think it's kind of motherfucking important. Well, I'll tell you what I was sitting here thinking of doing. Here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to show y'all what the polling data shows right now. Right? You know what I'm saying? Before the race starts. You know what I mean? Just so like everybody understands exactly where we are with everything as far as shit's concerned. All right. So, they're manufacturing consent for the Democrats stealing the fucking election. Because we all know, because we're on the ground and we're dealing with people, that Trump is legitimately on blowout status at this point. He did 2 rallies in PA in the past 2 days. And he drew 100,000 people in areas that don't have 100,000 people. Legitimately. Right? And it's not like we're bussing people in. Because legit, there's not a lot of money in this campaign at this point. So, but what they're talking about, all right, with the fucking polls, which is ridiculous. This is Arizona. They say Arizona, Biden's up 2%. Right? That can't be fucking right. On some real shit, that just can't be fucking right. Florida, Biden up 2.5 fucking percent. Georgia, Biden up 1% in fucking Georgia. Like the fuck out of here. Trump, you know what I'm saying, was at +4 in 2016, right? And the final result was +5.1. What they're saying is like, yo, if these polls have to be off by more in order for Trump to pull this shit the fuck off again. And I think they are, because legitimately, I think what they're doing is they're underestimating the amount of people who are going to stay the fuck home in this election when it comes down to it. Or they think that like they're legitimately going to pull out this amount of fucking cheating. You know what I mean? They're going to fucking legitimately do this amount of fucking corrupt ass garbage to pull this shit the fuck off. Michigan, they say Biden's at +8 in Michigan. That ain't even fucking possible. Legit. Because they say Clinton was at +4.2. Now understand something. Like, they're comparing this to the 2016 election. Now, people hated Hillary Clinton, all right? Legit, they hated her. But on the same point, they don't want Joe Biden in there because Joe Biden is, like, retarded, right? The guy's fucking, he's senile. He does not have the ability to run the country. Like, flat out, he doesn't have the mental capacity to figure out where he is. Minnesota, Biden 9+4. I think they're polling everybody in Minneapolis. Like, I'll be honest with you. I think that's what the fuck they're doing. They're polling people only in Minneapolis, St. Paul. And the rest of the state, they're like, fuck them. But I think the rest of the state's going to show up. I'll be honest with you. Nevada, Biden full plus 4.8, right? Clinton was at +1.8 in Nevada, right? And Clinton won it, right? At fucking +2.4. So, I don't know. Legit, you know what I'm saying? Fucking New Hampshire. Of course, New Hampshire. Like, legit. Like, that, again, this is real. We had a discussion about where does progressivism come from. It comes from New Hampshire, right? North Carolina, right? Fucking Biden 1+1.9, right? It had Clinton +0.7, Trump +3.6. He wouldn't even have to outperform his numbers the first time in order to beat fucking Biden in North Carolina. Right? Ohio, Trump +0.7 at the moment, right? Trump +8.1 was the actual result. So Trump's going to carry Ohio. I think Trump's going to carry fucking Pennsylvania too. I'll be honest with you. Like, that's really where it's at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I think, PA's been showing up big for Trump, and Trump's been out here helping out. And with all the riots in Philadelphia, I do not see him losing PA. Like, I don't think it's happening. Texas, Trump +0.1, right? 2016 it was +8.5. Trump +9, right? So, I'll be honest, I still think Trump's going to carry Texas. But again, I think the political fucking parties are reshifting right now. Legit. I think everything that has to do with government is going to be part of the Democrat Party. Right? All the state workers, all the military industrial complexes, all going to be part of the Democrats. And I think the people themselves who pay the fucking taxes are going to be part of the Republican Party. Like, I think it's going to be the individuals who pay for the government are going to be the individuals in the Republican Party from now on. I think that's how this is going to shake out. It's going to be much more libertarian, much more fiscally conservative, and much more freedom oriented against the government. The Republicans are going to be the anti-government party, right? And because of the fact that the government has been pushing anti-Christian values, the Christians are along for the ride at the moment. And I think black people are going to come with this ideology too. I think at least black men, black women, because they're so tied to the state. There's no way they're going to be fucking Democrats. It's going to be black men are Republicans, black women are going to be Democrats. Wisconsin, Biden plus 8.2. They think that's where it's at right now, right? And Clinton was only at plus 5.3, and Trump won it by plus 0.08. Let me be honest with you. I was just in Wisconsin today. Right, legit. I was in Wisconsin today. They're not going to vote for fucking Joe Biden, right? Legitimately. You know what I mean? And so let's look at this. That kind of leads us into this point right here. And this is why they're not going to vote for fucking Joe Biden. Election 2020. Cities and businesses prepare for post-election unrest and violence. All right, so Phil Branch spent the weekend putting huge sheets of plywood up over massive glass windows of the store where he works, Rodman Foods and Drugs in Washington, D.C., in preparation for Election Day. We'll possibly go up 2 or 3 board high, Branch said, across the country where they're growing concern that the bitterness and animosity over the presidential election will not end when the polls close Tuesday night. From coast to coast, cities are preparing for possible protests, civil unrest, and violence. At least NPR is calling it violence, legit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they said protests and civil unrest. Right? They said protests, but the civil unrest and violence, at least they're calling a spade at this point, regardless of the election's outcome. Branch is working alongside his boss, Nolan Rodman, the third generation of his family, to run the store that his grandfather first opened in 1955 as a pharmacy. I'm going to tell you what, all the businesses in my hometown, legit, are fucking boarding up all their fucking windows right now. And they're closed until further notice. Legit. They're closing down the pharmacies and fucking, places that sell to the local, places and bodegas are closing down and shit until further notice because they're concerned about the fact that the rioters are going to start breaking windows and shit. Nolan says that he was caught unprepared when rioters broke in and looted his business during the height of the protest over the killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis, and that sparked protests nationwide. They threw a chair through our window. There was chaos happening everywhere, Nolan says. I was very scared that night. It was pretty horrifying. After Rodman's was ransacked, Nolan said he couldn't sleep for a week, right? Goddamn fucking pop-ups. Nolan says he went on to the store the night of the looting, along with the police officer who advised him to leave. Security cameras caught mostly young men going into the pharmacy and the beer and wine section of the store. He and his father, Roy Rodman, even stayed in the store a few nights. Rodman said this time around they have a plan. We put some film on these windows so that they're not easily broken. If they're smashed, they'll stay in place. And we're hoping that no one can break into the store, at least not easily, says Nolan. Roy says. Nolan adds, the film makes the glass shatterproof so it doesn't just explode upon contact. When the nation's capital city is certain to be a focal point of post-election demonstrations, other cities are bracing for possible chaos too. The National Retail Federation has held training webinars for members on crisis prevention and de-escalating conflict and hired security consultants to help store owners prepare. Legit. You need rooftop Koreans. That's what you need, man. Seek Kyle. You know what I mean? Seek Kyle. Legit. Coming off the summer, seeing the looting that occurred, there's a lot of anxiety. And by the way, I was in Kenosha today. There's nothing in Kenosha. I don't know why they burned that place down. There was nothing there to burn down. Like, legit. There's nothing there to burn in that fucking place. Anyway, right? Coming off the summer, seeing the looting that occurred, there's a lot of anxiety, says Elliot Richardson, who heads the Small Business Advocacy Council in Chicago. There's a lot of nervousness about what might happen now, what might happen during the election. Richardson said it's not just the high-end retailers of the Magnificent Mile downtown that are risked, but also mom-and-pop shops on the south sides and west sides, who he says are hanging on by a thread right now because of the pandemic. So it's kind of where we are. Legit, man. And I mean, prepare for the boog. And I mean, go for the high score. I'll be home tomorrow night. That's my mentality. And legit, I'm going into the mountains. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to stay there for a couple of days, and I'm going back out on the road again. And we're going to see how this all works out. But I'm most definitely taking my gun with me this time. Like, it is what it is. I'm not leaving the house without my firearm. Like, I don't give a fuck what federal law says. They can eat a dick. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a shit. I'll be goddamned if y'all motherfuckers are going to stop me from defending my fucking self and at least getting my ass the fuck home. You know what I mean? I'm going to take my 12 gauge and probably about 400 or 500 rounds. You know what I mean? Just make sure I'm cool. You know what I mean? In the backpack, just in case I gotta fucking like foot my ass some fucking where to get the fuck back to the crib. It is what it is. Anyway, y'all look, I'm Tom Pease of Pnoid News. Y'all know the deal, man. Y'all be safe out there. Yo, look, real shit. A lot of us are not prepared for this right now. Okay? There's a lot of us out here who are not ready for this and who aren't trained. You don't have the life skills. You're not ready. And I know you think you are, but you're not. Don't go looking for problems. Please. Like, yo, just relax. If problems come, you try to be quiet and hope they'll pass. And if they don't, you stand and do what you have to do. But other than that, man, legit, don't go looking for problems because you're going to find them. And I don't want to lose anybody here because you're all important to me, all right? And I want y'all to know that. I'm Tom Pease from Pnoid News. All right, peace.